Well, HR is nothing but human resource and it has very much human in it. So now my next question is how can HR teams strike the right balance between leveraging predictive insights that AI would support and maintain a human touch as well? What do you think the world would be?
So, I think three things. While people, I have seen, I work with a lot of customers day in, day out. That's a part of the job that I do. I think what I've seen is people are a bit reluctant. They still fear that they'll lose on to what they are doing today. People are still not very clear in terms of what's the path if these things come in, right? So I think three key areas which people should keep in mind. One, they should be clear that AI comes as an enhancement and not as a replacement. Second is obviously there should be clear boundaries that should be aligned as to where AI is being used, where there's an importance of in human interventions. And I think third and foremost thing is I think it's about training the HR team to drive the overall integration, right? I mean, with this skepticism that comes across, I think it's a need to develop those skills, to understand those AI insights and translating them into human actions. The idea is uh, we have to train the HR teams to understand as to how AI is complementing them while still keeping it in mind that they are there to assist and drive complex things. However, the human element retains with themselves. I think when I said say use of AI more as an enhancement and not as a replacement, I think the idea is you should have say uh, say human HR partners who can use these insights and take more meaningful and personalized conversation with employees. Right now, if you see an AI can tell you that the person seems to be disengaged. All right, the person seems to be disengaged basis certain trends, basis certain actions. However, the conversation that has to be driven, the genuineness in terms of conversation can only happen when you do when you ideally do a human touch, right? Similarly, while obviously systems can assist you with those outcomes and those parameters, be it AI, be it automation on that side of it, but I think there are still a lot of sensitive conversations that you want to drive in, right? In terms of like performance issues or if there are personal challenges. Now, the AI will still tell you that the person is disengaged, but will not be able to tell you whether it was a personal challenge or a performance issue, why it happened, what the employee went through. And similarly, I think one should also realize that any system, and that's a fact, any system is as good as the data that is fed into it, right? And the biggest thing that comes across is an AI is still a system that has been created by humans. It learns basis it inputs, right? So I think the biggest catch here is how do you train that AI engine to be as smart as a human being by avoiding the biases. And these biases ideally are something that people should be very careful about. And it's not an intentional bias. Now, let's say I'm trying to teach my bot on something on recruitment or say profile screening. Now, coincidentally, the data that I've fed in, let's say it only talks about selection of people, and coincidentally, let's say 80% of them were females, right? Now, you haven't done it because you didn't have the other data with you. You only had a specific set of data on which you are training the system. Now, what the system realizes and infers is that perhaps with this organization, within these set of parameters, I think what works is a female. It may, in that subconscious aspect of you to train, may start rejecting good, valid male profiles as well, right? So I think that's something that people should know while they are entering into this world, but they should for sure keep in mind the training aspect.
Absolutely. I think things that humans can do, AI will never be able to. Sandeep, do you have any points to add here, or should we move to the next segment?
I think we can move to the next one. I think
Perfect. All
Prudhanshu has
right.
covered well.
So, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think, I'd like to, quote a very famous line these days that people use. AI won't replace humans, but humans using AI will replace humans who don't. So that's like a very catchy line that's running everywhere here about.